Get ready to show up with Khoolaid and Sarah. It's the show up show, baby.
Clap back. You ready? 1, 2, 3. We ready to go, Eric?
And we're ready. We rolling.
Eric got the clap.
Eric got the clap. Just kidding.
Just kidding, Eric. You don't have the clap.
We don't think.
I mean, you might have the clap.
I mean,
but it's okay. You can still run. You can operate our board with the clap.
Clap doesn't affect camera abilities.
No. You're allowed to have the clap if you're strictly the camera.
We do not discriminate around here.
All right, Eric, I don't know if we're going to be able to do an episode. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we
Welcome to it. Let's do it. It's your homegirl Khoolaid.
And Sarah.
And this is
The Show
Up Show. All right.
Okay.
So we decided to not have a guest on this show because I think it's important for us to explain a little bit of who we are and why the fuck we're here together and how the universe. Yeah, because I mean, honestly, we're discovering who we are.
Right.
And what this is. But I think that we need to introduce ourselves. I need to reintroduce myself, and you definitely need to introduce yourself to the world.
Agreed.
Let's start with that.
Let's go. I've
Go
had
ahead.
3 people this week ask me, what's the Show Up Show?
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to show up to find out what the Show Up Show is.
You know what? It's like when somebody asks me, I'm like, I'm not quite sure what the Show Up Show is either.
We have no idea.
I don't know what I want to do with my life.
Right.
I'm 48 years old. I'm a single divorced mother who, before 4 months ago, was under my blanket crying and completely forgot who the fuck I was and what I was capable of. And I had a best friend over the last half a decade, 5 years, who went through this trauma and this grief with me. And I went through it with her, and that would be Sarah. Luckily, she was a little more stable than the two of us as far as textbook, because your education of being a therapist, a family therapist, a trauma therapist, but even with all the knowledge you had, we would still cry through it, and you would tell the two of us the textbook, like, well, this is normal because this is this and this is that and this is that. But it felt like it would be never ending.
It was never ending. And I think I think, let me just correct you when you say I was the stable one. I think we took turns, right?
Yeah.
I think there were
Oh my
times
God,
when
yes.
you saved my life and there were times when I saved your life. And it was back and forth, and it was, I got you and you got me, and here we are. By the way, over a decade, we have been friends.
Yes.
You're saying
But
the
I'm
last 5
saying
years.
the
Got it.
last
I
5
understand.
years of
yeah,
our
yeah,
relationship
when we
was
first
not-
met, we were like, this is great.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
lovely.
she's
Life
so
is
gorgeous.
good.
Oh, she's so fun. Oh, who's this? Yeah. Oh, I mean, we were
Right.
when we first met.
Yeah.
we were.
Let's talk about,
people's-
how did we first meet?
Okay,
Let's go
so
there.
when we first met, I would say before we even knew each other, from the outside to anybody looking in, we were people's couple goals. Like
Yes.
we looked like the beautiful all-American families. We
Yeah.
had those, gorgeous men by our side.
Yeah.
We held our own. We had beautiful kids. Everything was about that family unit. And I know when I met you at the baseball field,
Yeah.
because my daughter and your son were playing together,
Uh-huh.
I saw you and I was like, oh my God, she is so gorgeous. And her husband is so stinking hot. You guys were like Ken and Barbie, like the Filipino Ken and Barbie. I mean, it was like,
Let's be clear, he was Filipino.
Yeah.
I was not.
yes. Well, you're Barbie. Trust me, this is clear without explanation, mija. Totally clear. So, yeah, and you had these
Yeah.
beautiful, gorgeous boys, and this
Yeah.
one that was chewing his little anxiety necklace when he went up to bat. So our kids had that in
Yeah.
common, and I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, I need one of those anxiety necklaces. So he'll
Right.
stop chewing his shirt, and
Right.
we started a conversation.
And the little one was in a carrier. Yeah, he was that little,
He
right?
was teeny.
Baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
He looked like a little Buddha. Like
Yeah.
he was
Oh,
the
so
cutest.
we make some cute fucking babies.
We do make cute babies.
Yeah.
And so that's how
So
we
we
met
met.
on the fields.
On the fields.
You take it from there.
I just remember meeting you, and you were just this light, just sunshine, like pure. I was like, who is this human? Like you walked in and it was just like magic all around you, and the energy and the, like, I thought you had, you're with your cousin, and I thought that was your partner.
You thought that was my partner. I know.
did. But I was like, I want to be friends with them.
And
Like,
I want to make it clear, we don't mind what people's preferences. It
Oh,
is
we love
all
it.
good. We love it. We are totally open to who you are and what you are.
We love it.
Personally, I love me a good man. It is what it is.
Strictly Dickly.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we are.
But I do have a
Right.
huge following within the community, which I love and I appreciate. And
Absolutely. I thought you were too this lovely, beautiful couple. With
Right.
mixed children from different, you each had your own children. You were together, this beautiful blended family
Yeah,
is what I thought.
but it was my cousin. She
But it
was
was
my
your cousin.
cousin. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
But I was
Okay.
in love with you guys. Like I was like, I want to be friends with them. I want to know them. Like, who
Yeah.
are these people?
Yeah.
And so our kids met. My son and your daughter had a little crush on each other, and it was the cutest. And we're like, they're gonna grow up and get married, which they still might.
Yeah.
And I
They're
just
gonna be so mad at you for that comment.
it's okay.
It's
They're
okay.
gonna be
Yeah.
If that's the comment that gets me in trouble, we're great.
Cool.
We're
Yeah,
good.
thank God.
We're good.
Y'all
We're
ain't
good.
ready for her. She seems real educated and sweet, but sometimes she be saying shit that I'm like, girl, you ain't allowed to say that shit in the streets. Okay, go ahead.
I'm trying.
But you don't
God,
mean
I'm
to.
trying.
You're great because what
Right.
people don't know about you is that you are so. Well, I guess I'm jumping forward
Okay.
a little bit. Finish. So we met.
So we met. So we just knew there was just something like we were kindred spirits. I had known you before. You had known me before. We transcended this lifetime, our friendship, the connection.
And our lives were so enchanted and great that it was like we saw each other
Right.
by accident in Maui, and we said, "Hey, I'm in Maui too.
Right,
Let's meet up and take a picture together." And
Right.
we
The
all
aquarium.
met at the aquarium, and we had these beautiful picture perfect families,
Yes.
and our lives were picture perfect.
Yes.
And
They are not.
they're not.
They are not.
They're
Which
not.
I think, listen, is a testament to a lot of people, right? What you see on the outside, and sometimes when you're on the inside, you know that it's not the perfection it appears to be, and sometimes you don't.
Right. I
Right?
didn't know.
You did not.
Yeah.
So for you, and I did. So I think that's the difference sometimes is that we know from the outside things look a certain way, but on the inside, something completely different can be happening and can be going on.
Yeah.
Neither of us could have predicted that 10 years later, this is where our lives would be. You're divorced. I'm a widow. My husband passed away 3 years ago. Your divorce was finalized how long ago?
I mean, it just at pretty much the top of the year.
Okay. So
Right?
yeah, I think that that's accurate.
Yeah.
But I think the difficult part of
February.
our lives,
Yeah.
right, has been going on for the last 4 years, I would say.
Yeah.
The ups and the downs and the how am I
5
gonna get-
years.
5 years?
5
Ish.
5-ish,
Okay.
maybe even close to 6 for me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
5-ish, close
Yeah.
to 6. And I think the beautiful thing that came out of all of that, right, that created you and I and created this relationship and created it. I was thinking about it yesterday, and I feel like you are, if not, the healthiest relationship I've ever had in my life.
Mm.
And when I say that, I mean because I was thinking about it, and it was like you're the funnest person I know, and I have the most fun with you, and we laugh and we joke and we find all the
Mutual.
good shit about all of it, right? And we say shit we shouldn't say, and we do things we shouldn't do, and
We
we
can be
live
vulnerable, completely vulnerable.
100%, and we tell each other the fucking truth.
Mhm.
And I think for you and I, we always lead with the truth. We always lead with vulnerability, and we always know that like no matter what, I'm not going anywhere, and you're not going anywhere.
No.
Like this is it.
We can have the hard conversations when
100%.
you upset me or when I upset you or when something
100%.
and I love that. And I just wish the rest of the world could have those conversations. And you can see it even after we have a disagreement. I can see it from your side. You can see it from my side.
Right.
And we can learn from it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And we're not going anywhere.
No.
Like it's that relationship that it's like, I'm staying, you're staying. We will figure this out, whatever it looks like. And so you have been one of the greatest gifts of my life, truly. And I want you to know that. And I wouldn't have gotten through the moments in my life that I got through. You saved my life. And I think I would like to think that there are some
You
moments you wouldn't have gotten through.
100% saved not only my life,
Yeah.
but helped mold especially my son
Mm.
into who he is today and get him through the challenges that you guys will learn about later because we want to be really open. And I know my son's open about this too. And
Yeah.
his, what I used to call learning differences, but now I call he's a badass motherfucker that's way ahead of
Yeah.
all of, I never
Yeah.
thought this, but I used to
Yeah.
worry that I was going to have to take care of him forever, but
Yeah.
that thinks and processes on a level so much greater than the majority of people
Yeah.
around him. And I want you to be able to see that in your young kids who maybe aren't,
Right.
the
Or-
system doesn't work for them the way it
Right.
works for other people, and how you can advocate
Right.
for your kids that are having learning differences. That's a big deal to me, and something that I spent the last 10 years of my life doing, and that I want to share. And that,
Not just spent the last 10 years of your life doing, but have kicked ass and have done it and have shown up and have fought tooth and nail against both friends and foes in order to get your child what he needed. And neurodivergent is what we call it in the mental health field now.
Mhm.
And so I think the way that you have shown up for him, for EJ, and the way that
what
you
is
have
neurodivergent? Can you explain that?
neurodivergent is typically what we use to describe somebody that doesn't learn in the way that it's not a one size fits all. They might learn a little bit differently. The way that
Yeah.
their brain processes things is not set up for our educational system, because our educational system is set up one particular way for this particular student, which truthfully is not even really for that student, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
And so neurodivergent typically refers to a brain that learns a little bit differently, that
Yeah.
doesn't learn in the typical way.
And let's be real about it. When we're out building our stuff business wise, or we're doing things, my brain does not work
Oh, no.
typically.
Oh no.
Girl, no. But that's
But
what
that's your
makes the
fucking
magic.
superpower.
Right.
And that's what I just said to you last week. Your creativity, and you are a genius at stuff because your brain doesn't work in the typical way.
Oh,
That's your
that's so
fucking
sweet.
superpower.
But then it's so, I'm like, girl, but you saying my brain don't? Oh, but girl, you saying I'm special? You got me this.
See? I gotta throw in a compliment and a
Yeah, and then
critique
keep,
at the same time.
yeah, and then keep me on my
moving.
toes. And okay,
Okay. Okay, yes. So how did we get here?
okay. So we were talking about how hard it was, and then we just, all the crying and the grief and what we went through. I did not expect to be put in a situation at, at the time, I think it was around 43, something like that, 42, 43-ish, 42-ish, looking in the mirror like, oh my God, how am I going to do this on my own? Or how do,
Right.
and I didn't want to be away from my kids. And, so I fought for my family probably longer and stayed probably longer than I should have, but I don't regret it because it was all part of the story.
Right.
I thought I was done doing the entertainment thing. Like I
Yeah.
thought I was full-fledged family.
Yeah.
And
Secret. She's never going to be done.
I'm never going to be done. Well, especially once Helen graduated, and
Yeah.
that was a big like wake up call to me. The kids were out doing their own thing. It's like,
Sure. They needed you a little bit less. It was more,
right.
it was up to you to who am I and
Yeah,
where,
what am
do
I
do
going to
now?
do? What am I going to be when I
Yeah.
grow up? How am I
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
do this? And you and I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And you just would always say, we have to just show up. We have to we got to show up.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I guess, fuck it. We're the show up show.
Yes. Yes. Because you just have to show up.
Yep.
That was just part of it for us. It was
Yep.
every day. And let's be clear, like the crying and the struggle and the journey that we have been on is not over. It
No.
still exists. It still happens. There's
No.
still next week I'm gonna call you crying.
And I
2 weeks from
carry
now.
the guilt that what my kids had to see, all the crying. I mean, for them to see the joy right now and them to see their mom as this version, this Kool-Aid version that they didn't even know existed because they weren't around for any of the early history, and how
I
excited they
didn't
get.
know this. Let's just talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
I didn't know you as this.
No.
I just knew that you were magical. I knew that you had energy. I didn't know this version of you. I'm here for it and I fucking love it and it's everything. And it's just a cherry on top of it all. But like, to see, for me, I can only imagine the joy for them, because the joy for me when I see you now in this world and this environment and the way people respond to you, and I'm like, wait, she's famous? Wait, people know that, like, oh, my best friend is famous.
Oh,
Like, it's
I
a
mean, I didn't know
thing.
that still existed because, I haven't been
Yes.
on the radio, or I haven't been doing anything for over 15 years. And
Yeah.
so, showing up to the world, we were more going to be about this
Yes.
conversation of helping people know that there's light and within
Right.
community, and
Right.
women or men in their 40s that are going through that transition of what am I going to do now, whether it's divorce, whether it's
Right.
losing a
The broken
spouse, a
open
parent,
moment.
the broken open moment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Being broken open.
And then unfortunately I gave you a little curve. I wouldn't say unfortunately, I just gave you a curveball and something extra to work with, because once I was like, oh my gosh, I'm back here, and I was getting the response I was getting from artists that I've helped or from the community and the music. And then I'm like, oh my God, this artist is out here. Oh, I love this young artist. Oh, I love this
Right.
movement. I got activated.
Oh.
And I know that makes you nervous, because I'm just like,
It makes me nervous.
I love being in the
Here's the
streets.
thing. It's both. I
Mhm.
love watching you be in the streets, or I'm on the sidewalk. Let's just
Yeah.
be clear. She's in the streets and I am on the sidewalk watching it all.
And then let's also be clear, because you always say she in the streets, like I'm out there doing nasty shit. In the
Nobody
streets.
said that. Nobody
I'm
said
just
that.
In the street, I'm in the hood. I'm bumping. I'm listening to the music. I'm listening to the
I didn't
energy,
say what
the
you're doing in
culture.
the streets.
I
You're
know,
in the
but
streets.
I'm just saying, when you say she's for the streets,
I didn't
means-
say for. I said in.
Okay, difference between for and in.
100%
So we're gonna be
difference.
MILF. I'm gonna be the MILF in the streets, not for the streets.
100%.
That's gonna be one of our T-shirts.
And I'm gonna be on the sidewalk watching you.
Okay.
You said make sure
I'm
you're good.
checking my location when you're not on the
Yes.
sidewalk next to me.
Yes.
You and the kids are the worst with my location.
Listen, I have got 3 people whose location I watch.
Mhm.
My 2 children and you. And when I signed up for the 3 locations to watch, I was
Uh-huh.
like, my 15-year-old's going to stress me out the most. My little one's with me all the time, so I
Yeah.
know where he is,
Yeah.
whatever. You were not even on my radar of like, I'm going to have to worry about her. It was just like, if you ever go on a date, when you go on a date, I'm just going to make sure that you're not being kidnapped.
Right.
But you and your location stress me the fuck
I
out.
know.
I cannot. At night, I'll get up to go to the bathroom and I'm
girl-
like, let me just check real quick and make sure she's home in bed. No, she's not. She's
girl
having
loves her
tacos
some super
at
tacos.
12:30 in the morning. And I don't even know where.
Getting a story about the art
Yes,
of
I'm like,
graffiti.
go home.
Like, yeah, that, yes.
Go home.
Yeah, shows, like I love to show up at the shows, at
We
the
know.
opening.
We
and
know.
yesterday, you were so funny. You were like, wait a minute. Tomorrow we've got a lot to do, meaning today.
Yes.
You were supposed to be home, but like, come on, Michelle.
I
S.
thought
was
I had
here.
the night off. I was like, I got the night off. I
No,
don't have to
I
watch
had
your
never been to the
location.
Soho room. I got invited to the Soho room from
Which
my
is
girl
great.
Michelle.
I love it. Let me be
I had
clear.
to
I
show
love it.
up. Okay.
I love it.
But
for you.
no, you was trying to send me home and put me in bed.
I was trying
You
to
were
send
like,
you home. I was for sure trying to send you home.
you're
last
like, please
night.
go back to Porter Ranch. Miss Calabasas is like, please go back to Porter Ranch. I do not like you in Hollywood right now.
I'm trying to sleep.
You
It was
did not get
selfish.
permission to get out at night. And then I got the kids too, my son. Like,
Yes.
Mom, where are you? Why are you here?
Right.
It's like, y'all ain't gonna let a girl live her life.
I mean, we are.
I never got to live my best life. This is my first time living my best life. It was
Right.
always work. Well, no, I did live my best life in the 2000s when we were, but I was, it was
But,
different.
but listen, let's also talk about that, right? For the
Mhm.
first time in our lives, we are now single women.
We had
dating.
we had both been with our significant others. You since high school, me
27 years.
right out of
I
high
mean,
school.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, as women, to date as women that we are
Scary.
now, it's scary. she
That's a
says.
whole nother episode. We're gonna have to
Okay,
talk
we'll do
through
that.
that
Yes,
stuff.
that will
with
be a
you
whole.
guys.
Yes, that's a whole nother episode. That's
I
a whole
mean,
nother episode.
Well, I don't know if it is. It's
It is.
like
It's so much.
it is a lot, but I mean, we could start hitting it a little bit
Sure.
and start talking about it, because I
Yeah.
had told you. I mean, up until we had went somewhere, we won't mention where we had went, but I was
God.
very on like nothing turns me on. I don't care about that anymore. I think I can't even get those feelings anymore.
Where did we go?
No, don't even.
Okay, okay, okay.
Because I know how you are. Don't even start. I'm not. I don't.
Okay. I don't know where we
I,
went, but
we
okay.
do not kiss and tell.
Okay.
FYI for anybody, you are not going to get that on
We're
our
safe.
show. You are not going to get us hurting anybody's feelings. You are not going to
No.
get us throwing anybody under the bus.
No, ever.
Those are not the people we are. We authentically, if we emotionally,
Fuck with
whatever,
we got you.
right. And it's because it's a reason, because it's real. So if you happen to do us wrong for whatever reason, you got to live with us. And there's probably a reason. You've probably done something right in our lives.
Right.
So that's the reason you were able to do us wrong. So it's okay. I forgive you.
I forgive you.
I'm good.
And we're
you know?
good. There's-
you
yeah.
brought something
That's
into
right.
our lives in order for us to be that vulnerable.
To allow you to be that close.
100%.
And if you choose to do something with it, that's
Boom.
on you.
But you will always get 100% honesty from us. So anyways, it was the moment where
Okay.
I was like, okay, maybe I
Oh,
can live
yes.
my best life.
Right.
And we were out there living our best life. And
Yes.
it didn't quite go how expected, but that's okay. Again, it's okay. With communication, anything can work out
That's
with
right.
Sarah and I. And so
That's right.
now we're on this journey of like, okay, I'm getting feelings back. I'm noticing people around me, and it's not easy because you're 48 and you don't know who's, there's people that are married, there's people that, I mean, a lot of people, it's not like when the field's wide open for you.
Listen, the dating culture right now, I
Ugh.
don't even know how to navigate it. I don't even know how to navigate any of it. It is nonsense. It is garbage. It is I can't that's an entire episode that we have got to discuss.
No, we're
because
definitely gonna the translation of emojis,
all of the things. The
yeah,
texting one day and then you don't hear for 3 days and then
yeah,
they
the
pop back
ghosting
up and
shit.
I cannot. I don't know how to do
No.
it. I'm old school. I want you to send me a song that makes you think of me. I want you to
Yep.
plan dates. He's laughing.
Yep.
This is the truth.
Yep.
I want to know what song makes you think of me. I want to know that you
Yes.
plan dinner. I want to know that you're going to send a car or pick me up at a certain time. I want to
And open the door for me and put, leave me
Yes.
out. Guy, like I'm a tough chick, but I want to be able to be feminine.
Soft.
I want to be soft.
Damn it, I want to be soft.
I want my Adidas, my shell toes to feel sparkly, Like,
Yes. We're here for
Yeah.
soft girl era.
yeah.
Lover girl, soft girl era. We're here for. But that's an entire we have got to dissect that, but I think we need
We
some of those
will.
like fuckboys to come on the show and give us the truth of what the other side of it is, because you and I are constantly trying to dissect what it means.
Everything.
What
Yeah,
does emoji
or
mean?
why?
Okay, wait. He took 4.5 hours to I don't have time for that.
I
fucking
don't know.
nonsense. I
And
don't
you
have time for
talk
any of
like
it.
when I talk to you and Britt, my lash girl, you guys will hear a lot about Britt. You'll meet Britt, definitely. She's
Our lash
she's
girl.
fly. Yeah, our lash girl now and / therapist. She new life therapist.
You're like our new life coach.
Yeah, our new life
Yes,
coach.
our dating coach.
The new world dating coach
Yes, yes.
for the 40 plus.
Yes.
That's what she should do.
Mm,
That's what she should do. She would ball out.
okay. Yeah. We digress. Go on.
But yeah, we lose ourselves sometimes. But anyways, that being said, what was I saying?
Don't even know.
I don't either. And that's the beauty of
We're just fucking showing up.
we're just showing the fuck up.
But okay, going back to
Help
the
me.
show up,
Pick me
right?
back up, yeah.
The dating,
Mhm.
we're showing up for all of it. That's the point. And that's what I've been trying to express
Yeah.
to people all week. Is like, what's the show? You just show up. We show up for life together and we figure it out together. So
Are you proud of me that I'm even open to this now? Because like you thought you didn't care. At one point, you and Lisa, my other best friend, were like,
Didn't
you
care
didn't
about what?
like what I did or who I did or how I did it. You guys just wanted to make sure that I
Why'd
would.
you do it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like-
but let's be fair. Only once. Like, I
Right.
just wanted you to be able to move on from your past, be loved correctly in the right way. And you may or may not have done that. And I'm ready. Now I have criteria for you.
That's where we were. So
Okay.
that's what we were talking about.
Okay.
Is I just forgot again.
The criteria for moving on. We are showing up for all of it, for the dating, for our kids, for the world, for work, for all of the things. Dating now, moving forward, let's be clear. I have fucking criteria for you.
Okay.
There are certain things that are acceptable and not acceptable. So
Okay.
yes, now I have an opinion.
Okay.
Before I had zero opinion.
Well, and I do for you too, Boo.
Do you?
Because you and I have made a couple bets and we've said, no, I won't do this. I won't do that. Then you'll say, I'll bet you $50. And we both have done things a little differently. And it's okay because we're experiencing life. We're learning what we will and will not accept. And then that's what I was going to tell you.
Okay.
When I was talking about you and Britt, it's like, we'll sit there and we'll talk about what I can or what should I do with this or
Right.
what should I do with
Right,
that.
right.
I'm getting so much stronger in my own that it's like, I'm not playing those games.
No.
It's like if I want to text you and I want to say I'm thinking about you,
Right.
or I want to have those feelings. I want to have those
Right.
real relationships. If I want to
I'm
send
laughing
you-
because I'm thinking about your text because the way that you just described it as I'm thinking about you and I'm like, bitch, I know the text you actually said. But okay, yes,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about you.
yes. Yes. Like I want us to like I want to have relationships that I can fully be me and put
Yes,
me
you lead
on
with who you are
the table.
without the games. Or, I can't respond
No.
yet, or no, not yet, or he responded and I didn't. And
No.
what does he think? Fuck
And
all
if
of
you
that
don't-
shit.
Yeah. And
Fuck all of it.
if you don't want that, fuck off.
100%.
I mean, not fuck off. We can be homies. Like I'm like, but
Right.
it's like,
Respectfully.
don't respectfully fuck off.
Right. You're not what I'm
Like-
looking for, and I need to know that now because
Yeah.
the amount of stuff that's one of the beauties of trauma and horrible things that we go through in our life, right?
Mhm.
What it does is it strips away the superficiality of life, number one, right? Like the things that I was impressed with before, looking great, having the best purse, doing none of that shit matters at the end of the day. When you get to the end of your life or you see somebody get to the end of their life, all of the superficial shit is so unimportant
Mhm.
and it just goes away. That's being true with relationships as well. Like any superficial relationships you have in your life that are based on that stuff. And listen, sometimes it serves a purpose, right? If you're having a party and you want to invite 500 people, you need some people that are like fun and you just show up and you have a great
Yeah.
time with. You need that, okay?
Which is totally me. Like I'm capable of being that in the world and
Absolutely.
managing 40 relationships at once as far
Absolutely.
as like in a room and being like, okay, but if I'm
But not
feeling it,
dating. But
yeah.
here's the difference is that dating wise and who you are allowing to have a part of this magic beautifulness, right? There's some fucking criteria that they need to get through. Not everybody has VIP access anymore, and I think that the things that we have been through in life have taught us that
Mhm.
life is a way too short. Way too short.
And maybe that's why we're so willing to jump,
And just go.
go
Because we know how
what it
fragile
is.
life is and we
Yeah.
know how short it is. And I don't want to wake up tomorrow and say, I wish I had done this differently. I have too many of those already.
Yeah.
I have way,
And
way
we're
too many
gonna
of
have
those.
more.
We
You're
will.
gonna have more.
We will, but that's not what we lead with
Yeah.
anymore.
No.
Right now, it's we authentically live from our heart and our soul, and we are going to show up as we are. And some days we've got our shit together. Most
Mhm.
days we do not.
Yeah.
But we're here and we're
Yeah.
figuring it out and we're doing it together and we're doing it with anybody else that is willing to be that vulnerable and show up.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
And you know what? Listen, you are way too much. And I am way too much. And if you don't like it, I don't care.
I don't know
want
what to
be
tell
me.
you.
Yeah, I want to be me now.
100. And somebody, listen, people, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a work relationship, whatever it is, the people that are in our lives that feel like they hit the lottery to be in our lives
Mhm.
are our people. And if you
Yep.
don't know what fucking magical unicorns we are, you're not our people. And that's okay.
And you know what? When I say you're way too much,
Yeah.
you know what you're way too much of?
Uh,
You're way too much love.
hmm.
You're way too much laughter. You're way too
Mm.
much energy. You're way too much honesty. And I'm ready to be way too fucking much in this world together and teach people that it's okay to be way too fucking much of what you are. If you're way too much fucking shy, if you're way too
Whatever,
much
yeah.
whatever, just be yourself and be wherever you're comfortable. And
Yeah. And
uh,
come find us because we
yeah,
got you.
yeah,
And we will remind you of how you're too much and what
yeah,
a beautiful thing it is.
yeah, yeah.
I want the too much.
I do. I
I
want.
want the too much. I don't want the I'm going to be cool and I'm going to be nonchalant and I don't want it.
Mm-mm. I want the over communication.
Ugh, all
I
of the
want the
things.
over love. I want the extra hugs. I want my
Yeah.
friends that are girls or my friends that I can say it like this. My brother, Big D. You've
Yeah.
met Big D.
Yeah.
Anybody in the industry knows who Big D is. That's MC Magic's business partner. I want the Big D hugs in life, like my brother, Big D. I want the world to embrace me the way I embrace them when I walk into a room. I
Yes.
want the people in my life. I know everybody won't, and I know everybody's not built for that.
That's okay.
And that's fine too.
That's okay.
But I am going to find my people,
That's
and
right.
that's who I'm going to surround myself with.
That's
And
right.
I'm sorry if there's people who along the way, like you said, there's going to be a different type of access. But after everything we've been through, there's just no room for the negativity anymore.
None.
There's no room for the making people overthink or
Feel bad or none of it. None of it. And for the
or-
people also, I think, for the people that feel like they're alone in this world
Mhm.
or feel like they're alone in their too muchness or feel like nobody else understands what it feels like to wake up and be like, who am I? And I have no idea how I'm going to put one foot in front of the other and get through this day.
Mhm.
How am I going to do that? We are here for that.
Yeah.
And if that's the space that you're in and you can feel like you connect with one of us in the smallest way and it makes a difference for you, we are here to make other people feel better in this world and in their life and
Yeah.
in their beings.
Well, and to normalize the real. So we're going to bring a lot of our friends
Right.
on that,
Right.
are going through different things. And like some of our celebrity friends, they're not going to come, and just our regular, whatever,
Yeah.
hardworking friends and
Yeah.
people. We're going to tell a lot of broken open stories of
Right.
people who had different situations in their life that have changed their lives. But
Right.
the main thing is we are going to normalize honesty and what people go through daily, so that it's
Yeah.
not all the filtered picture
Right.
that we're seeing.
Right.
There's those times, like, if somebody, I know that I was lucky that I had people around me. I think all the time, if I didn't have the people around me when it was so dark for you and I,
Yeah.
though, during that era,
Yeah.
to say just push through, there's going to be light. When I was being told there was going to be light, I did not believe. I thought there was no way to get out of that darkness. And I
Yeah.
want to make sure, if it's just that one person we're there for that's in the darkness, that I promise you, whether you're going through the divorce, whether you're going through the loss of a spouse, a child, a mother, a father,
Yeah.
the grief will never end. There'll
Right.
always be some type of grief, but there will be light.
Right.
And I want people
Right.
to have a space to push through.
I agree. And I think it's both and, right? Is that we're here for the darkness, but we're
Mhm.
here for the light.
Oh, hell yeah.
We are fucking here for the light.
We're
Like
here to
we're here
celebrate the
That's
wins.
exactly right. We will be with you in the dark and we will get into the mud with you and we will sit there with you until you are ready to clean yourself off. And
Yep.
when you put your best outfit on and you do the filtered picture and the makeup and you feel like you got it going on, we will tell you that you're the baddest bitch in the room
Yep.
because
Yep.
we are here for all of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Because we've been through the process of what it looks like to
Yeah.
show up, to not be able to, not think you can, and then to show up and see the light again. I
Yeah.
mean, when we started the journey back, and really, you and I sitting in the room at your house trying to figure out, how are we going to record this? What do we
Right.
record this on? And
Right.
me texting Concrete like for
Right.
probably 2 years, like, what equipment or what should I get? And finally one day him saying, Khoolaid, stop bullshitting.
Right.
And come over here and let me help you.
Right.
And
Right.
he did. Con stepped up to the plate, gave me
Yeah.
that confidence. Marty and him bringing me to the comedy show, putting me on the stage. I was so nervous. This was just a few months ago. Like,
Right.
people aren't going to remember who I am. Why are you guys putting me on the stage?
Right.
And then from that, the next week to the Romo brothers putting me on the stage in front of 10,000 people with my brothers, with Bash and Rob and the people I love, Magic, the people I love and adore, and the way they embraced me, and then the way everybody started tugging and pulling when I was back, like, come on, we're going here, we're going there. And
Mhm.
that the people too, like the audience that was
Mhm.
there, and my whatever you want to call them, I don't want to even call them like fans or listeners, it's family, like,
It's
say my people saying, hey, we're here for this. Like, we're here for and remembering and loving me for who I was, and appreciating the vulnerability of when I was going to all these different places and just showing up. But then I'd have the hard days because I was still trying to get out of I was in the in-between zone, and I'd get
Right.
on like, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Right.
And I could do that. And I could
Right.
take people through that journey. And
Right.
it's so stinking exciting now. I never would have I mean, we're doing this huge synergy conference with
Right.
icons and
Right.
bringing people
My
together
future husband might be
to
in the
create,
crowd.
maybe,
You
to
never know.
create a whole new transformation in the
Right.
entertainment industry.
Which I think
if you told me I would be doing what I'm doing now 4 months ago,
Yeah.
I would have been like, bitch, you stupid.
But for 5 years, I kept telling you, like,
Yeah.
just wait. I promise you it's coming. I see it. Like, I know what the universe is waiting for
Oh,
you
you
to be.
always kept telling me.
Always.
I know we're going to be okay. And even when, like, Eric is part of our team here. He's part of Con's team, Con's right-hand man. Even when I was like kind of crying to him, like I was scared, like
Yeah.
when they were trying to turn the cameras on,
Yeah.
I'm like,
We're still
how are
scared.
people?
but
Yeah,
you're
we're
doing
still
it anyway.
right. But even him telling me, you're tripping. I mean, we didn't.
Right.
I know you got.
It cracked me up when they said, how many times are you going to watch the video? Just
Yeah.
put the shit out.
Well, no, and let's talk about that. So the
Right.
first episode,
Right.
we were sitting there, and Lil Rob signed the door a
Right.
long ass time ago, and they were like, "What are you guys doing?" He's like, "This is a private link, and this episode has been watched 150 times." This is not, and you're the only ones with the link. This is not okay.
I was like, how many times did you watch it?
Yeah.
How many times did you watch it?
Yeah.
I was like, well, I sent it to my son.
Yeah, yeah. And then it got to the point where finally Eric and Con decided, you know what? Screw this. We're going to push him in the water.
Right.
And I woke up one Monday morning
Right.
and the episode was up.
Right,
And
that's
I
what you
had no
called.
choice.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't know whether to be mad at that. Then I was like, no, you know what? They did as friends. They did the absolute right thing. They pushed
Yes.
us in the pool and we're
Yes.
like, swim,
Swim,
Swim.
bitches, swim.
swim, swim.
Here we are.
And we're swimming.
And we are swimming.
And we look forward to swimming.
That's all we can do.
All right. So that's a little bit of who we are. I mean, I think.
Listen, I think
You've got an education. Tell them your background.
I do. So I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I've been licensed since 2020, graduated grad school in 2017. I work with couples, individuals. My specialty is trauma. But truthfully, I have not been in private practice since the day my husband died.
Right. And you weren't sure that that's what you wanted to go back and do.
That's right.
And-
I know that I want to help people. I know
Yeah.
that I want to help people to see their own magic, and I want to help people to heal, and I want to hear stories, and I want to offer everything that I can possibly offer to people. I don't know that I'm ready to be back in private practice.
Well, you know what? Let's take that back
Okay.
because I said that that's not something you want to do. That's actually something you wanted to do, but you wanted to find a non-traditional way that you could do it that would bring joy to you.
Absolutely. And here's the difference, right? In private practice, there isn't, it's called self-disclosure, right? It's a very one-sided relationship in private practice where you come to me, you're my patient, we talk about you, it's your story and what's happening for you. And my job is to help facilitate your healing, not to heal you, to help facilitate it, to hold up a mirror to you so that you can see your capabilities. And so I can sort of refigure the things that you've been through and deliver them back to you in a way that becomes powerful for you and that you get to heal.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my healing journey has been the sharing, the giving and the taking of, I want to know what your story is. And you know what? This is my story. And if part of my story can help heal you, then I'm willing to be vulnerable with you and share that with you. And so for me, that has been the difference in what my therapy journey going forward looks like as a therapist. Is I want a give and take relationship. I don't want a one-sided.
Well, and you have way too much experience and things you've been through now that need to be shared with people, which
Right.
wouldn't be typically what you do in a therapy session.
Correct.
So you have a lot that you need to give to the world.
Yeah.
Plus, we love to be together. We love to have fun. And here's our journey. And
Here
for
it
anybody
is.
who doesn't know, I was a radio personality here in Los Angeles for a very long time. The radio station I dreamed of being on as a kid, Power 106. And I produced film and I syndicated radio. And I
You're so
fought
modest.
and advocated for a lot of different artists and people that I believed in. And
Yes.
luckily, those people are in different, neat, high level positions now and are ready to help me in my journey and my rediscovery of self. And that's who I am. And I'm just a person who loves, and I'm excited to be here with you.
Yeah.
It's a show up show.
It's the show up show.
Let's go.
Let's go.
West Coast original, your girl Khoolaid.
Sarah.
Yeah, you gotta get used to that.
I know. I gotta get
You
used
gotta
to it.
get used
and
to
it just
it.
feels
The
like I
DJ
should have
thing.
so much added to it.
Yeah, Sarah. I know it's like Khoolaid.
Kool-Aid.
And
Sarah.
Sarah, like even on the intro, it's like Khoolaid
Right.
and Sarah. Let's go, baby. It's the show up show. We're here. We're here. We ain't going nowhere.
We're
We
going
done
nowhere.
showed up, baby. We ain't going nowhere.
Right, now they're stuck with us.
Yeah,
We
now
ain't
they're
leaving
stuck
now.
with
We
us.
show
Let's
up and
go.
ain't leaving.
Let's
Not an
go,
option.
Eric. Let's go, baby.
Let's do it.
Get ready to show up with Khoolaid and Sarah. It's the show up show, baby.